belong to Nodo Kodua from Georgia. He is a three-time Georgian champion, 850 horsepower, V8, BMW 1 Series. You know what? Had a very strong Austria.
He did, very strong Austria.
Not a strong Sweden.
No.
Wants to repeat the Austrian. The Austrian ones, what we want. We want that form to come to Riga. Looked good here before last year. Let's see what Kodua can do. Definitely not afraid to throw this in very fast.
Well, he certainly is going to throw it down. Look at this speed he's bringing in now. 145 kilometres an hour reached on the initiation as Kodua leaves outside zone 1 a little early. He's have to work now to get deep into 3, and he makes it work. Nice job from Kodua as he goes deep once again. Tidy, he's getting those outside zones, but maybe not on the orthodox qualifying line that the judges laid down. In the briefing, back end to the wall as Kodua finishes up a nice run.
Very nice run. I was just thinking, people find like doing donuts in cars quite exciting. Imagine handbraking your car at 145 kilometers an hour into a track with no runoff and looking so comfortable doing it. That's what Kodua just did.
A little dab of the foot brake, very tidy. It was a little deep there, but look at the way he made it work though. Not a lot of steering inputs as well. It didn't change the line he was on. Like I say, not the most orthodox line probably that the judges were looking for, but still nevertheless.
Pretty good average speed throughout the course. Pontus Hartmann sitting first, obviously, because he blew off the track at that speed. So his average speed was pretty high because he
took off.
He couldn't stop.
Yeah. Took an early flight home.
He did. Let's see what the score is for Nodo Kodua. 77 on the board, 7th position.
Judges not liking that.
Yeah, judges a bit harsh.
He's a nervous weight now. Nodo Kodua sits on the line, the Georgian driver, with a 77 on his first run. 850 horsepower Chevrolet V8 powered BMW 1M. And Nodo Kodua will want to get this one done. He'll want to get off the line pretty sharp, as you can see him looking over. He's nervous, 26th. Finds himself in the show at the moment. We've seen some big things from him in qualifying before. A very good contender. Nodo Kodua comes off the line, he gets the green light through the gears he goes. There's Nodo Kodua now. Look at that, snaps that car across the circuit. Tyres hold on for dear life. Dabs the handbrake once again in outside zone 1 though. The judges will be pulling this run apart as he goes deep into outside zone 3 in front of the judging tower. This looks a lot nicer from Nodo Kodua as he goes wide on 4, gets into outside zone 5 nice and early on the foot brake, on the accelerator, puts the back end to the wall as close as he can and across the line.
How cool is that last corner? When they get into the zone on that, it is crazy.
When they get it dialed.
Oh. That said, on a couple of moments there, he had a couple of stalls.
Yeah.
A couple of decels in non-decel zones is probably the most technical way of putting it.
Yeah.
The layman's way of saying slowed up a few times. Watch another handbrake in the outer zone. I don't think the foot brake was totally necessary here. Could have gone a little wider as he transitions back. This is nice.
Very nice.
Yep. Now watch the transition back here. Very, very nice. A little handbrake, but that's fine. Now watch this. When he comes into the zone, comes in and handbrakes again to extend it. So a little bit of decel there in a non-decel zone, but made the line work, most importantly. Let's see what the judges say. It's an 81, good solid score.
He's rewarded.
From Nodo Kodua. Good line score. As you can see, line 54 out of the style, 13 out of 20. Just dropped him a little bit there.
So there we go, Nodo Kodua. We go, it's going to be Edgars Kogeras in that incredible BMW 2 Series up against Nodo Kodua. And Edgars Kogeras, we see him earlier on, had a bit of an incident with the wall. We see him at the driver signing session with some ice on his neck, complaining of some neck pains. Looks like he's feeling fine back in the car. These guys, obviously, all the best safety equipment, using that hands device to try and stop any neck injury. But Edgars Kogeras took that car to the wall and said he was feeling a little bit rough, but Nodo Kodua, he won't care. Oh, wow! Nodo Kodua absolutely dialed in. What a beast mood on the initiation from Nodo Kodua. Edgars Kogeras not on that qualifying line, way off as Nodo Kodua almost overtakes him. Edgars goes wide now, fires in, he's way off that qualifying line, and Nodo Kodua doing an incredible job to chase him down. Must be incredibly hard to get up close and personal with a car off the qualifying line.
Wow. I think we're going to need a marshal to go into the pits and start looking for Nodo Kodua's brain, because I think he left it behind him when he went Starlight. That initiation was death-defying.
He unplugged it.
He just said, you know what, Jesus, take the wheel. Because he went in so close into that first corner, and you know what, not a perfect line. I definitely think there's still issues with that car from Kogeras, because he had a big hit with the wall earlier on. As you said, it wasn't a tap. You know, so there's definite damage done. He's obviously giving it a go. But I don't know how Nodo, with a car offline in front of him, managed to make such a good chase run work. Kodua looking incredibly confident in that BMW 1 Series. Watch this initiation. He's inches behind.
Did he hit him? It looked like he almost hit him. He was that close. He had to brake.
Perfect. And you know what? That's the level these guys are at. There is no safe runs at Drift Masters.
No.
You kidding me? Go in there and see what happens. You got to be on it from the start, or you're going home. And a lot of these guys saying, I'd rather overcommit and regret it than regret not overcommitting. Because if you're going home on your long trip back to Georgia and you're saying, I could have just done a bit more, well, that's what he didn't want to do. Well, he's no regrets in that one. He's definitely taking an advantage. And now we got to see if Kogeras has got the machinery to stay with Kodua here in the second half of this battle. He's got the car, but is the car working 100%? But he's giving it a good go. He's come off the start line very, very fast, trying to replicate and quite close on initiation.
Yeah, he's gone for a big run up on the initiation, but it hasn't worked. Kodua way faster. Kodua sticks it to the white line, transitions back, and you see Kogeras now on the inside edge of the circuit, made a big mistake on that transition. Kodua looking very comfortable on a nice qualifying line. You can see Kogeras making a whole host of errors in the background, trying to find the side of that green BMW 1 Series as Kodua puts it to the wall. That is a guy who you don't want to take your eyes off today. He's on form.
There's your dark horse. There is your dark horse right there. I'll tell you one thing, though. Watching qualifying yesterday, that's a very different Edgar's Kogeras, so I think there's something wrong with that car. I think he said, we'll throw it at it, we'll give it a go, we'll try it, but this is not the Kogeras we saw yesterday. That car not hooking up, not putting power down. It's a beautiful build, very nice car. As far as I can tell, I think he's struggling with it right throughout the run there. I said he's giving it a valiant effort.
Yeah.
But it's not going to swing his favour. You can see it just looks like it's all over the place. And it was a big hit. That car might not look too damaged right now, but when it came in on the Budmat trailer halfway through practice, it looked like he was never making top 32. So I think he's giving it a good go. He's giving it an effort, but I think the judges are going to swing towards Kodua here unless we've missed something, but I think that's a pretty obvious one. And it is indeed Nodo Kodua who gets the win and goes through to the top 16. That was a fantastic performance from him. He's ready for anybody here in the top 16. Watch out. Remember the name. Jot it down. You're going to be seeing a lot more of him later on in the main event.
That GT86. We're going to go back to the start line now. It will be Nicolas Bertans to take on Nodo Kodua. Georgia versus Latvia right now on the line. And as Dave said, 500 horsepower only under the foot of Nicolas Bertans.
But he gets an extra 200 horsepower because he never lifts off the throttle.
Yeah, he doesn't take it off. Apparently they've extended the floor pan so the pedal goes further.
Yeah, I don't think he knows the word modulation because he just puts the foot down on the first corner and doesn't lift it until the end of the run.
Yeah.
And I think that's how he has to drive this in order to get the perfect line. So it's a risky one. It's difficult for him, but he's got so much talent. For such a youngster in the game, 17 years of age, and of course the Latvian flags flying in the grandstand now, hoping he'll take down Georgian Nodo Kodua, but he's got a massive amount of support online. I'm sure the Georgian fans are all behind him. Let's see which way it swings as it goes into that first corner, upwards of 130 kilometers an hour on the handbrake. It will be Bertans leading Kodua. Look at Kodua's entry here. Kodua's coming for him.
Kodua is absolutely pinned. He's deeper into the outside zone than what Bertans was. And look at Kodua. He's all the way up on the inside. He's deep up onto the door. He transitions back. Oh, he makes a mistake on the transition. He finds himself on the inside edge of the circuit. He's made a hash of that transition. Gets himself back into the mix now as Bertans dials on the angle. Kodua puts it to the door across the line.
Kodua got caught. He went a little too greedy. He got away with it on the first two corners, but when Bertans dialed on the angle in the middle of the circuit, he got caught, and he had to make evasive maneuvers there. I have to give him 11 out of 10 for effort, though, because that's the closest chase run we've watched all weekend.
Look at this. He's deeper in the outside zone than what Nicolas Bertans is. That's phenomenal driving from Nodo Kodua. Trying to see now where it all went wrong on this transition. We got blinded by the smoke. Kodua got blinded by the smoke. Transitioned way too early and then realised once he'd made that transition where he was on the track to get himself back into it. That's a big mistake from Nodo Kodua.
It's a big mistake, and you can see how it happens. I mean, if all that smoke is coming up your windscreen, you can see nothing. It's like just driving into a thick fog halfway through the course while you're drifting at over 100 kilometers an hour. And Bertans, he won't have known any of that. So training on his lead run, did a great job. The angle he's pulling through that outer zone is pretty impressive too. Bertans down the chase position. Mistake on Kodua's side, but he did have a lot of proximity through 70% of the course. Bertans can't back off too much here.
No, Bertans needs to bring the same game that Kodua did in that chase, but
And I think Kodua here is going to try and just be as fast as possible.
I think he is. I think that is exactly what I was just going to say. I think Kodua's going to go through the gears, keep the foot absolutely pinned. There he goes. You can hear that supercharger screaming as he hammers the throttle through the floor. Handbrakes in the outside zone. Doesn't upset Bertens. Bertens, though, still there, still with him now as they come down in front of the grandstand. A little bit of ground put between the two of them as Bertens comes through the smoke, fires up onto the rear bumper, makes a dangerous transition as Nicholas Bertens holds on to this one, sticks the nose of the E36 BMW onto the door of Kodua's car.
Big risk from Bertens. It paid off. It didn't pay off for Kodua, but it paid off for Bertens in the same position on the track. Went for it, made it happen. I've got to say, looking at that lead run from Nodo Kodua, this weekend is a what could have been for him. That was one of the best runs on the track I've seen the whole weekend. Absolutely perfect. I'm not sure where that was in qualifying, but if he brings that to the next round, he's top in qualifying. That was incredible.
Look at this from Nicholas Bertens, though, the transition. Look at that, bumper to bumper. Unbelievable from Nicholas Bertens there. And he gets the car right up onto the door, across the line.
I feel I know which way this one's going to go, but I would love it one more time because
I want to see it again. Yeah.
This was amazing. Kodua's lead run there was 95 plus. Incredible. But the big mistake in the chase. Well, he's not going home from this event thinking I could have done any more.
No.
He went over and above. But I think the cool, calm head of Nicholas Bertens might prevail here. And that's exactly what happens as he goes through to the top 8. Kodua is going to have to feel like it could have been, but he went too hot. He got scalded. He got sent home in the top 16. And it is going to be Nicholas Bertens going through.